course.
And that's the level that we're dealing with here. Mr. E, we've seen him... We haven't just seen him destroy people. We've seen him adapt to people who figure out not to get destroyed and destroy them anyway, which is the sign of a great player. He has the adaptation. He knows what he needs to do, works consistently towards his win conditions. On the other hand, Sammy, dude, Game 5 with SkyJ, world-class player. He was in there from A to Z. Couldn't close it out. Let's see if this set is a different story.
And Mr. E, I want to say right now, probably the most aggressive Lucina the world has seen.
Oh,
right? You look at guys like Proto and Leon, who are like in contention for those other top spots, right? I think are a lot more chill, a lot more measured when it comes to their game plan. Mr. E, he'll get right in there. He will eat you alive if you don't shut him down somehow.
He will fight you.
Yeah.
And he fights good, and especially backed up with that DP, right? There are times where you feel like you can punish him, you can reversal out. He will surprise you, Dolphin Slash, and you're back to square one.
It feels like with Lucina being so floaty, Sammy's able to kind of capitalize that on the ledge. He can't really jump past the ledge too far without getting hit back again, and he keeps setting up these bombs on the ledge.
No jump.
So much work for Sammy right now. Look at this.
Oh, he overshot on the confirm, going for that double jump. I think just a full hop would have been sufficient.
Ooh, okay. Fair 1-2. That's a new one even for me. Semi, with the awareness, finishes his plate this time, which is what we want to see. Now, Mr. E on the back foot for the first time in a while.
On the back meter.
Right.
Okay, man.
Max.
Not letting it go after you called me out, bro.
It's good. It's good. You don't have to let it go.
Okay, any type of hitbox that Sammy's able to kind of throw out doesn't seem like Mr. E can kind of contest it without trading as well. And these trades are not going to be in the same favor as him since Sammy is winning. He's up a stock, man. Got to find the stock soon, okay? Finds it right there with the Nair, scooping him again. That seems to be his bread and butter kill at the moment.
That Nair, yeah, such great coverage at the ledge. The spot dodge at the right moment. Semi ready for the follow-ups. And did he just weave around the landing aerial to get his own down? Mr. E was coming from above, and Semi got over him to get the downer. I love that positioning. Now, Semi looking in a dominant position right here in the final, the final stock maybe of this game.
Yeah, full stock down against a zoner, definitely not a spot you want to be in. But like we said, Mr. E, he's got that fire. He is very content to play this rush down game. Doesn't matter what tools his opponent has. So we'll see if he's able to crack through. Wow, that rare dash attack. I feel like that had to have been
a
cancel F tilt. But you know what? It's going to work out anyway.
And you got to keep in mind, right, Sammy does not really commit to the cam game. You can see he rolls in, he will back out a shield, he will look for the fight if he feels like it's advantageous enough. So Mr. E in this case, definitely in his element, right? Like when he's fighting, it's for a good reason. Oh! That double reversal, that's crazy. Sammy with the most, that was on a razor's edge. Thin margins, and he made it happen.
He's been in that situation before. I could just tell
1,000 times.
That felt like he's been there before. Like, I know what I need to do. Just couldn't find the right timing, but still found the kill. Either way, Mr. E not being able to kind of recover back to the stage.
And you
Even
can
if he misses it, he still died.
You can see the experience shining through for Semi, right? Like, again, no surprises when it comes to a character like Lucina. 100%. And I think she has a really basic game plan in general, right? It's just a matter of how the player uses those tools. But even still, the tools themselves are limited. There is only a certain number of moves in every character's kit, except Kazuya.
Well, he only uses
right, 2, 3.
Max. No, on the other side, we have Younglink, who is like a character that's kind of defined by the variety, right? He has up-close boxing. He can outrange your sword with his grab and zair. Yep. He can zone you out. He has out-of-shield game. He has whiff. He has it all. And it's less about the tool set, and it's more about how the player uses it in that situation. So both of these, right, like two opposite sides of the coin, but at the end of the day, it's about the player on the sticks. And right now, Sammy is pressing buttons, and it's going well. Again?
Not be out of trouble yet.
He said nah.
So useful for Lucina. We're going to see the jab block into Dancing Blade. Ton of damage coming out right there from Mr. E. Can you convert this into an edge guard? Oh, not quite, though. And Semi's still stuck in the corner. Neutral air, one of the best tools, as we just talked about like a minute and a half ago, at oppressing your opponent in the corner.
Mr. E is just another one.
I'm impressed by the boomerang from Semi.
Good awareness, but still doesn't really mean much when you're getting edge guarded over and over again, just getting looped.
And this is a big weakness for Young Link, right? Like, you can throw these up Bs out because, like, what's the worst case scenario? Young Link is going to get, of course, he can get your combo. But a lot of the time you up B, you go to the platform again, right? Like, what's going to happen? You get Young Link down air. It's not going to be that big of a deal as compared to hitting that up B and dismantling Sammy's entire momentum just like that. And again, you take the up air, you just got out of basically the worst case scenario of the mix-up. Of course, you should not overdo it too much. Sammy's definitely looking for the up Bs now. Let's see if Mr. E adjusts.
Yo, looking like Leon out here. And actually looking like Ramen out here.
Yeah,
a little bit of Dutch Lucina play.
Mr. R, Mr. E, the inspiration is there. Right now, the Gimp is there as well. Mr. E on a roll. After that game one, he's defining himself in this set.
You know, I'm so sorry, Eric, if this isn't true, but I'm pretty sure he did take the tag from inspiration from Mr. R, yeah. And you could see it in the gameplay as well. But of course, it's been years since he's touched that character.
The difference between has just been Mr. E's aggression. He's not letting Young Link set up. You know, Sammy's not able to kind of get all these hitboxes out. He just has to kind of just deal with whatever Mr. E's putting out on the ledge in center stage. And I don't feel like he can handle it. Finally finding that stock there, but is it too little too late for this game?
Yeah, Young Link not built to be a comeback character, right?
No, he's not.
But the momentum on Sammy, I've seen it before. He makes these happen. The parry, the follow-up, the platform tag chase, misses the B reverse on the boomerang. But you can see the momentum seeping through in his game plan. Goes for the arrow, tries to finish his plate, but the biggest thing here is the pressure, right? Sammy hasn't really let Mr. E get back to neutral at all. This is looking like Mutace right here, just covering all the options with huge reward and extreme consistency right now. Sammy putting on a clinic, He's not a combat character. Look at this. He was losing 5 seconds ago.
Yeah, Sammy held on to that 44% for like 44 seconds, bro. Yeah, that was kind of insane. Mr. E gonna get the wake-up grab off the ledge. Oh,
I like that.
Sneaking right underneath. Bro. Yeah, Young Link being such a tiny character and so fast, it's so good for anti-airing your opponent. But hold on, now that Mr. E's respawned with a fresh stock, he's also got a fresh mindset.
Ooh. Yeah, Young Link has a different normal get-up timing than other characters. It's a frame faster, which means that your grab timing might be a little bit off here. And Mr. E already missing 2 of those grabs. And like I said, right, those B whiffs, not as big of a deal against Young Link. Sammy kind of getting lost in the risk-reward here. Mr. E basically establishing his best options every single time.
Mr. E loves going for these back throws at the high percents. He knows that edge guarding will be an easy win condition for him. You can counter Young Link's up B. You can just do a drop zone forward air, something like that. Oh, and you definitely can't shield grab Lucina's forward air. We're going to see Mr. E even up the set. Both of them looking really strong in the games that they won, I gotta say. Yeah,
you could see that Mr. E was actually starting as the game was going on. He's actually starting to flicker his shield. He was getting used to the timings of Semi's aerial approaches to the ground, and he's waiting just to parry it. But yeah, the DP coming out yet again. That seems to be his best move right now.
Yeah, that Dolphin, dude, it's coming out so good. it's again, the crazy thing is the punishment is often not that bad, especially with the way that Sammy is committing to like these pressure situations. He's often kind of like taking a little bit of time to set up a little bit of extra pressure. And then if Mr. E up B's at the same time, Sammy's busy setting up that pressure. He's not on time to get a big punish. I did feel like Sammy was adapting to it on the end though.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of the up B's started whiffing. Mr. E, it's going to come down to how long it keeps working, right? And if it stops working, how quickly do we catch on? Is this on the front of your mind? It has to be.
Well, either way, now that they've both gotten a game, they've both kind of shown what their bag of tricks looks like, or at least what their base game plan is. And now we're going to see them try to deviate from that. Make sure your opponent doesn't stay on your trail, doesn't figure you out. And we're just going to hopefully see them both clean it up. But you guys know, as we get closer to Game 5, and as we get closer to the last stock, that's when the sloppy stuff starts to come out. So whoever is better at the scramble, better in the clutch, that's who's going to come out on top of this set. They're very, very well matched for each other, I think.
And I don't know, man. Young Link in a scramble is scary.
And Mr. E so far has been extremely clean. He has not really dropped his edge guards much. Generally repositions properly just like that, gets the grabs. And even in these situations, look at that, reacting to the timing of the down air and going for the up tilt. He is on point. He's not dropping anything.
Disadvantage just looks so rough for Young Link in this matchup, by the way. He might have great control in the neutral. He can keep Lucina away. But, man, when you're above her, you have nothing that can contend with up air. Even back air, the vertical hitbox on it. So good at catching Young Link out of the air.
And I think, like, if you compare Sammy to other Young Links, the differentiating factor really is that disadvantage. He survives so often, but Younglink still a light character. The recovery still has its limitations, and Mr. E there getting another one of those up Bs. Again, it's the crucial factor of this game. Are they going to hit? Are they going to get countered? Who's adapting fastest? The double jump is taken. Oh, that could have been bad.
The doesn't eat it though. Just getting keep on the ledge and to keep pressuring that frame data.
Oh,
so well with this ledge trapping.
Shot. Sammy, again, barely not getting these kills, right? Gets the air dodge, doesn't finish it. Gets the up smash, barely not in the KO range. And that is the recipe for disaster for Sammy so far.
So many close calls from Mr. E, right? Neutral getting up right through the bomb. Couple near misses from Sammy, but the down tilt, yeah, nice and easy. Gonna go right into that up air, finish the stock off, and I love the empty hop. People love to talk about how Lucina's floaty, but she still has mix-ups just because of how imposing that sword is.
He doesn't get gimped. He recovers time and time again. Look at the grabs. He's outranging Lucina, beating Lucina at her own game. But again, he's not finishing his plate. These down throws should be full confirms. Sammy, he's not as clean as Mr. E is so far.
Yeah, he's kind of throwing himself at Mr. E with kind of these hitboxes that aren't big enough to kind of fight Mr. E's Lucina. Lucina can outrange him all day unless he does get those grabs, like you said, or the Zair. But either way, Mr. E kind of commanding this neutral until now the Zair's kind of poking away and away the back air, throwing Sammy off stage. How does he recover though?
Very smart of Sammy to go for Zair to the ledge, right? You know that up B is just counter bait, and I feel like he's been playing around that specifically so much.
Oh, there's the whiff, and no punish. That's the thing. He can drop through the platform. That's a brawl mix-up, baby. Mr. E making great use of that. Again, it's hard for Sammy to get the pressure. Tries to get the tech chase. Mr. E wisened up there. But look at the percentages. What looked like a very strong game for Mr. E again. Sammy now in the lead.
The bomb just staying there, catching the landing with the dash attack. Bit late on it as well, but still found the kill, and Sammy gonna find his way back down, even taking a little bit damage from his own bomb.
Grabs? He's been finding them, but tries to get another one there. Gets a beat for his trouble. I like this adaptation. Mr. E very comfortable with these grabs against Younglink. At the end of the day, though, Sammy, again, he doesn't get enough reward. Wow. You get it here?
Him up.
You see how many of those up B stage spikes Mr. E is getting on players who are definitely good enough to tech the stage, right? It's not like they don't know about that. It's just hard to react to, especially in a pinch like that. Sammy, I mean, he had to expect some kind of stage spike.
The Kokiri's sword keeping up with the falchion, but the Nair, that's an early hit. The bomb, the early up B, Sammy doesn't get the continuation, and again, he's just barely not clean enough. Has to go for the early, gets forward smash for his troubles. He's barely alive. The bomb recovery is active, but the boomerang was a little bit too much, right?
That was all off a reversal. All of that was off a reversal.
Yeah.
Yeah, off the up being into the bomb, by the way. Mr. E, it was kind of a close call whether or not he was going to get back. But when Sammy threw that bomb down, I think he gave him a second lease on life. Then after that, Mr. E had him with the forward smash punish on the up B. You could see him hesitate. If he had charged a little bit, the game was over right there. So for all the Mr. E fans out there, myself included, I'm glad he was able to pick the back air up, because if he didn't win after getting the freest opportunity, it would have been kind of rough.
No, he definitely deserved the punish there, right? Yeah, exactly. At the end of the day, I think Sammy felt like he could cover the early up B out of the bomb, and he's just barely not clean enough. And that's the curse of Younglink, right? You have so much, like, so many of his combos are DI dependent. They're a little bit tight. You have to be on point. Sammy corners himself, but the parry reversals. Center fights.
Yeah, that's kind of the bad thing about Lucina, is that most of her aerials are single hit. So if you can get used to the timing, unless you mix it up well, Sammy can kind of, get these parries off and, kind of advance that kind of, like, where he's going to be in the neutral.
We've seen Mr. E go for the side B mix-ups, though, right? Like, he is aware of the parries. If they start becoming a problem, he will focus his attention on mixing you up. Nice breakthrough over the arrow. Sammy kind of not getting the punish he wants. Oh, footstool.
Okay, gets the edge in like he wanted, but I feel like he pressed the button a bit too quick.
No pickup. Sammy, the straight hits, the 1,000 cuts, turning into 3,000. Since he's not converting them. And now Mr. E, he's looking like the bully in this matchup. Doesn't get the Nair one, doesn't get the tech chase on Sammy's end though, but the returning boomerang feels like a bit of a buffer issue, right, with the roll on the platform. It happens more often. Sammy very ready for it though. I like that.
All right. Oh, wow. The dash attack, that was very sneaky.
Yeah. Real good pickup. Look at the damage he's converted.
Oh.
All of that. All of that was from that up B off the ledge, by the way.
The boomerang, the coverage, I like that. He uses that so well.
Oh, and less invincibility if you go for the tether right there.
That's why he waits on the second tether, right? Gets a bit of extra invincibility. The fire arrow, that was a side B mix-up you were talking about, Fabs, but Mr. E felt like he had a little bit more control than he really had, and that is the nice thing about Young Link. You can control every situation and convert just like that.
How commanding this lead is.
Yeah, Sammy really starts to pull ahead here and
chase
catching that
down.
roll as well. This is the beauty of Young Link, right? You might not be able to make comebacks, but you really don't have to worry about him too much from your opponent. So easy to just put them on ice, slow them down. But hold on, Mr. E finding the stock right here. Obviously, looking worse for the wear at 150, 160+% right now.
He is cheating death. Like I'm good. Like okay, there you go. Forward air one, forward tilt. The classic, right? Not up smashing, not taking any risks, just going for the forward tilt. And now, Sammy establishing the lead, right? And getting rid of the rage. Usually a huge deal for a character like Young Link.
Okay, gets a double back air. The
Triple.
one. No dash attack this time though.
Control though. Look at that. Tries to get the read. The sneaky boomerang sends Mr. E back into the corner. Sends him back into the corner.
Where the hell do you go? Where do you go? Honestly though, where are you going? He's asking the question.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it feels like there's no escape. You can just set the field up in such a dangerous way for your opponent. Sammy doing just that. And especially with a lead like this, you have all the time in the world to set up.
God, Sammy just denying everything Mr. E wants to do for 20 seconds straight, not getting the final hit, but look at this lead. Again, it's building. Mr. E here has to make some magic happen. Solid hit.
For Mr. E, puts him in the air though. No kill off, and again, Sammy able to kind of sneak away, weasel his way out of any trouble.
Woo. Empty jab. Interesting, Sammy. Safe pressure here. There's a parry again.
Yup.
Yeah, that linearity of Lucina's aerials really coming into play. Sammy has gotten so many parries in this game just because he knows exactly when Lucina's going to land. Yeah, they're fast and long moves, but you know when they're coming.
Yeah, and I feel like Mr. E has kind of been a little bit telegraphed with these aerials. Okay, gets the there into the back air though.
That was smooth.
And he just can't get these edge guards.
He has to make it happen here, right? That is his win condition. But Sammy, again, I told you that dash attack is good, and we're heading into another Game 5. Sammy, oh, he's making it tense for the viewers out there. Game 5 SkyJ, Game 5 Mr. E. All the competitors here today, you know, they're neck and neck.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. E with several Game 5s throughout the day.
Oh, yeah.
Right? His first 2 rounds of the top 32 did go down to the wire, but he was able to come out on top. So now that Sammy's got him in this position, obviously the biggest threat that's taken him to Game 5 so far, let's see what he's able to do. I think when you play a character like Lucina, it really comes down to how much you've adapted to the opponent's play style, what little habits you've been able to pick out, because she doesn't really cheese you. She just plays an honest game.
You got to know.
Really strong tools, though, and how well Mr. E is able to use them against Sammy is going to come down to how familiar he is with his game.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta know. And Mr. E, he's a knower. Let's see if he can put it into practice here. The forward air immediately covering that airspace. Sammy, again, he's one of the most normal heavy younglings you'll find. And what you see is that he knows which normal to use for which situation. The forward air as a way to contest swords. The Zair as a way to outrange it. The grab as a way to catch the landings. He is good at beating you at your own game. And that is what we're seeing so far. 80% already. And again, making
you gotta fight back, bro.
Mr. E he's not getting anything started.
There's no analysis in the world. I'm gonna just tell you straight. He needs to fight back. There is nothing going on for Mr. E right now. Okay, gets one grab, puts him off stage, but it's just back to Sammy's turn.
God. Hitting it with the little Youngling feet, or Youngling meters, as Max would say.
The way that you exploit Young Link in this matchup, it's not through combos. It's through popping him up in the air and never letting him land. When Mr. E got that combo started, I thought there was something to come off it, but no. Sammy able to land. Oh,
he
but
saved him.
Probably not able to recover. Yeah, you are done.
Nope. Yeah.
What a quick response there.
Wow.
Mr. E right back in it, dead even.
And that's Young Link's weaknesses in an absolute nutshell. You put off stage, you're at risk of dying at any percent. It really doesn't matter. You catch a jump, one counter from Lucina, you can push you so far. How much you do, and okay, it's back to Sammy's advantage state.
And I've been saying it, but I'm so impressed with how clean Mr. E is. Like, he will put you off stage, he will finish the job.
Yes.
Yeah.
He does not play around. Sammy instead opting for simpler combos, right? Down throw, up air. That's not ideal. You want to go for down throw, back air into more hits. But he has decided, hey, I'm not as clean as I want to be. Adjust to it in mid-game. Hard to do, but obviously not the state you want to be in for a top 4.
Oh, this is just so close. Only about 20% between these guys. Mr. E cutting that in half, literally, with the forward tilt. Oh, and almost rolling right into the boomerang. That could have been huge for Sammy. Just a narrow miss.
Parries, they're so big, but the conversions are not there. Sammy dropping 2 down tilts in a row, but the fire arrow into the down air will connect. Not quite a KO, but look at the damage. This is getting closer to that forward throw kill percent, and that's where things start getting very scary.
Oh, and barely alive.
Dodge, yeah, man. He's just surviving with it. The bomb, no tech, still able to survive with the dolphin slash.
That's the grab.
Gets away from the grab. Sammy getting it's a little bit too desperate sometimes. You do have to go for the greedy option sometimes. Chases him down and gets the up air, and Sammy in the lead once again.
Sammy's so ready for that roll inward on the platform tech chase. Oh my God.
God.
Wow, Sammy looking French with these parries right now.
Oh, triple parry. He's crazy. He's in his head.
I know Jarzo's is shaking somewhere in Georgia right now. I can't believe this.
He's like, that should have been me. But Mr.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah,
He's
not over.
He's in this for sure. Mr. E, one of the cleanest players here today. Sammy finds a bit of momentum, but again, Mr. E, look at how calm he is in the corner, right? Just like shielding the projectiles. He knows they're not the actual threat. The threat is when the grab comes in, and we see that shield now from Mr. E being a big factor. The Zair just sneaking through.
Oh, but Sammy not ready for the reversal. The wake up forward tilt, the ledge trap into the grab. Mr. E on the verge of closing it, and he does. Game 5. Mr. E standing up out of his chair. A very mild and respectful pop-off. But for a Game 5 set that was that close, I mean, you can't just go spiking your controller and going crazy, right? That was very good Smash Brothers from both of them.
Max, you said Lucina wins for adaptation. I feel like Mr. E backloaded all of that in that final stock.
He activated.
Dude, he just said, all right, Ultra Instinct.
And you could feel the tension rippling through Mr. E's body right now. Just look at the way he's moving around up the stage right now, right? Like that's an exhausting set. A character like Young Link takes a lot out of you when you fight him.
And at the end there, right, that Gimp, right, after failing to get that pressure on Sammy time and time again, at adaptation, he backloaded it. He went extra deep.